Okay, welcome to lesson 4 of the tank game. So we now have two tanks and they know when they've crashed into each other and they explode. But it's kind of a little bit boring with just this white background. So let's create a new stage backdrop. And we're going to animate it to make a little road. So we'll start with a stage backdrop, click on that, and you go to backdrops up here, and we're going to, so we can just start with our first one. Right, so I'm going to change that to black, grab my line, and I'm just going to draw a road to start with. Okay, so I'm going to do a straight line road, and here's the other side of my road, and I'm going to do some lines on the road. So this is how, shall I do that? I'm going to do some rectangles, which will be the road markings. Okay, so just do this, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'm going to add another backdrop, and I'm just going to literally do the same thing, 2 lines and 3 stripes, and then I'm going to paint them all later. So we'll go. You might want to line yours up a little bit better. I'm just doing this very quick. So I'm sure you can do a better road than me. Doing my 2 and my last rectangle down there. I'm going to add another one. Do my line. So I'm sure my road's not exactly lined up or anything. Kind of have this sort of movement going on, and I'm just going to paint it all one color now, so it'll be a little bit boring. So maybe I'll do just some. Maybe I'll make my road black. Okay, do the same here. My road's all black, and maybe I'll just do the side of the road brown. Now we want our road to move, so just like we can change the costumes for our sprites, we can also change the costumes for the background. So what we're going to do is we're going to say when the green flag is clicked, we're going to have a loop forever, and all we're going to do is in our looks here, we're going to put next backdrop. But we need a little bit of a delay in there, because if we do it like that now, that just looks crazy. So what we go to our control again, and we just say wait, and maybe we'll make it wait. Maybe we'll just make it wait about maybe half a second. Let's see how that looks. Okay, now what's happened when I click my green flag is that, okay, there we go. Not a great road, but I'm sure you can do much better than that. But anyway, we now have a game where we have 2 vehicles, right? 2 tanks. We have a moving road, and we can move out of the way of the approaching tank. Okay, it's still a bit boring though, because our game is over now when this happens. Our tank's moved out the way. Oh. So I can crash it and when he's moved off the screen. But then that's kind of, there's nothing else happens in the game, right? So that's a bit boring. So we want to add that this other tank maybe gets down to the bottom of the screen, waits a little bit, and then comes at us again. Alright? So let's look at our red tank and blue tank. Let's just there, and we'll stop it. Okay, so for the red tank, we're saying when that's clicked, switch the costume to the red tank, go there, point towards my tank, and then keep doing this forever. What we'll do though is we will add a little bit of a delay up the top, right? So let's just say, let's just maybe make it wait 3 seconds. Okay, this will make this straight away. Just doing that will make our game a little bit more interesting, because watch what happens now. Right? Wait a second. Here's what we want to do. Let's hide the tank first. So we'll say hide him. What happens when we click hide? Sorry, it'll get very sticky. Click hide, the red tank disappears. Okay, and if I click show, it comes back again. Right, so first of all, when I start the game, I'm going to hide my tank. Hide him. I'm going to wait 3 seconds. Then I'm going to switch this costume. I'm going to show him. Alright. So this will straight away make the game a little bit more interesting, because watch what happens, right? If my tank is over here, where we start the game, the red tank's going to move towards him. If I start again and I move my tank over here, what's going to happen? Oh, the red tank moves towards him over there. If I click start again and I move my tank over here, the red tank points straight at him. So straight away we already have a little slightly more interesting game, but it's still going to end when the red tank gets off the screen. So do you remember when we were talking about X and Y? These little numbers here, they tell you, they're like a map of the screen which tells you where you are. Now a red tank can know when it's reached the bottom of the screen and then pop back up to the top. Okay. So that's what we want it to do. We want our red tank to realize that when it's got to the bottom of the screen, it should wait. It should do this. It should just start this loop again, wait a few seconds, reappear, and start moving towards our green tank. Okay, because that means that it'll keep coming back and keep chasing after us. Otherwise, the game will get a bit boring. Okay, so can you think how we might do that? I'll let you have a little explore, and I'll explain how to do it in the next lesson.